Thank you very much, Senator Kavindu and Madam Speaker. First, let me say that just a few hours ago, I was part of a delegation of the leadership of Azimio Coalition led by the Right Honorable Raila ODINGA, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, and the Governor of Machakos. We tried to visit with the victims of the demolitions in Athi River, but to our surprise, Madam Speaker, we were met with a cordon of police complete with water cannons and anti-riot gear, which was quite surprising for us because as far as I understand, this is something that is of great interest to all Kenyans. And at the very minimum, we as the leadership of the country should be allowed to visit that place to see for ourselves so that we can assess the extent of the humanitarian crisis that is unfolding right under our noses here. Madam Speaker, much has been said about this matter in the court of public opinion and especially on social media. People are alluding to court decisions that have finally and firmly decided that the land belongs to East African Portland Corporation. In fact, Madam Speaker, that is not the position. The matter that has precipitated the current action was a ruling by the High Court sitting in Machakos that basically threw out the case that had been filed by the landowning company that had sued Portland. And the reason that was given by the judge is that this, the plaintiff or the complainant had been unable to effect personal service on some of the respondents in the case. So it is not therefore true or factual that a definitive determination has been made on the ownership of the land in Machakos. Madam Speaker, we are not here to argue the legality of who owns what or the title or who that land belongs to. Whether it is a question that it is, the land is actually public land, it is owned by Portland or it's owned by these individuals is another case altogether. What we want to address in this motion is the human suffering that has been precipitated by this particular action. That at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, our constitution and the law require that there has to be a humane way to resettle people. I am sure Madam Speaker is familiar with our own evictions and resettlement guidelines of 2009 that require that before certain actions are taken, such as the ones that we have seen in Mavoko, 90 days notice has to be issued in the Kenya Gazette. Of course, Madam Speaker, in this particular case, it was not done. Because hours after the court decision throwing out the case by the land ownership society, the graders were there, ready to demolish houses. And Madam Speaker, what we want to address is that every single government that can call itself a government must always worry about the situation of their own people. As Senator Kavindu has alluded to, Madam Speaker, the current regime is on record having said that the era of forceful evictions and nighttime demolitions was going to be a thing of the past once they were sworn in. It is quite shameful, Madam Speaker, that as we speak, over 3,000 households are without a roof over their head. We have counted at least 5 churches as of yesterday and 3 schools, and I've heard Senator Kavindu add that it is in fact now 4 schools. More than that. And the demolitions are ongoing. I can confirm that because I have just come from there and we were denied access because the police commander in charge told us that that exercise will continue for maybe another few days. Madam Speaker, so what we're saying is this. We understand the legal tussle might take time. We understand that it might be a complicated case. But what is not complicated, Madam Speaker, is that people cannot be sleeping outside. As Senator Kavindu has said here, we are entering a period where we anticipate heavy rainfall. In fact, we have been warned by the meteorological department for a long time that we might be experiencing El Nino rains anytime. What would have been the challenge with the management of Portland, giving these people ample time to be able to move out? And what is most shocking, Madam Speaker, in the Daily Nation of this morning, today's Daily Nation, we saw another advertisement by Portland dealing with a separate portion of land that they own. And in this particular case of the land that has been advertised today, somehow they have taken a different approach. They recognize that there are people who are settled on that land, some who might actually even be squatters. But they have said that they are going to give those people priority when that land is advertised for sale. I am only asking myself, why was it not possible, even in the current situation or the people who are on the land that is being now demolished, where properties are being demolished, for them to also be afforded the same opportunity to have this discussion with Portland and see if these people are able to afford to purchase these pieces of land so that they can do regularization, as we saw in that particular advertisement. So, Madam Speaker, for us, really, we are saying let there be a humane face to enforcement of court orders. Let there be a humane face when you are kicking out people from land and destroying their homes. Madam Speaker, as far as we are concerned, this is a matter that the President himself must speak to and answer the question whether he still holds to his promise to Kenyans to make sure that, in fact, such demolitions, especially forceful evictions and demolitions, Madam Speaker, are a thing of the past. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and I beg to second.